Pogba will leave for Brentford. He strikes. Oh, it's a goal! Staying on his feet this time. Look, they went for Martial. Lovely touch by Fernandez. Cavani! Rashford. All the way across goal. What a finish!
Welcome, gentlemen, and welcome to All In, All United Premier League. Another week, and it brings us another match day closer to the end of the season. I think a lot of us are kind of anticipating the end of the season. However, today was nice to see. A pretty decent performance from Manchester United. I mean, today's performance shows that them fellas, they could play football,
One hard slap across the head, that's what.
Yeah, some
It
nice
shows-
little 1-2s, yes,
It
with some
shows
nice
a
little...
lot of things that was wrong in the club too.
Yeah. I mean, we saw some nice little 1-2s. We dominated possession. We were challenging and actually winning the second ball. Bruno was disciplined, Phil.
Yeah, boy.
Right? Mata was linking with all the attackers.
Class.
Matic was dictating play. Ronaldo dropping deep.
Rolling back the years. Rolling back the years.
Mata show Bruno and Pogba how to play a number 10.
Exactly. Even Ronaldo dropping deep, linking. Ronaldo tracking players.
Yeah, Ronaldo doing that whole season, pal. Don't be a knife.
So here what I was saying, right? When everything come together like that, it is look.
You can see was enjoying playing with Mata though.
Exactly. So fellas, to start off this show, right? Because them fellas could play football, right?
Some of them.
So why haven't we seen more performances like that or like this season? That is how I want to start off this evening, because you can't come and give me one good game out of 38. What is that? Especially when the kind of them fellas be making answer. So that's why I want to get us started with this evening. Why haven't we seen more games like this season? Or at least under Ralph's tenure?
I will go. Right? And to me it's easy. It's easy. We started this season on a hype of, right? We get Cristiano Ronaldo, we get Varane, we get Sancho, right? So with that hype, right, came pressure now. Came pressure that here what with these players we should be able to win games easily, right? And we went into games for me, maybe initially overconfident, maybe not giving the opposition the respect that the opposition would have deserved, right? And during these struggles, right, and the weight of the expectation, right, I guess we started to struggle because today we played with no pressure now. The performance today showed me that these guys played with no pressure, no expectation of the shoulder to have to win this game, to keep up with Liverpool or with City or the top four, right? They say, well, all right, top four gone, right? Now we can play free with no pressure, because you could have seen from early. You see the kind of flicks, players just flicking and coming off with you know what I mean? You're like, wait now, but where this confidence was. And I think because there's pressure off the shoulder and they could have just play naturally now, because the kind of performance I saw today, it had no other way I couldn't see this, at least for 2 or 3 other games in the season, right?
Correct.
Other than pressure on them fellas, and they didn't manage the pressure properly, and that is why we struggled for this season.
Yeah. Go to now, chef.
Well, yeah, chef. No, you want chef coming with you.
Dan, we team are real shit tongues, you know.
Yeah, but chef, my point, Right? I just be it. I
Hey,
just
hey, hey,
battling you a
you
little bit.
talk.
I just
You
battling you a
talk.
little bit. I know,
Hush
I know,
your
I
mouth.
know. I
Hush your
know,
mouth.
right?
You talk.
But
So
it's
let me
a real
start by
strong.
saying that.
No, it we couldn't look so. Right? At least
Dan,
for 2 other game for the season. I mean,
Yeah.
at least after,
and
right?
here,
Go ahead, go
and
ahead.
here what I'm saying now. When I say we team, you know I don't only mean our players. I mean our management over the years too. I want, and I've been asking this, and nobody does want. Amanda's be telling me all kind of dirty stuff. Dog, I just real watch football, and I have been saying why we have Mata in our squad and don't
And he
play.
played. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
One of the most intelligent players, if not the most intelligent
I
player
got, I got add
on the
on,
squad.
I got add on to what Chef said about Mata as well too. But keep on talking, Chef. Yeah.
Yeah, and Dan is manager after manager since this man at the club consistently sideline him. And I wonder sometimes is if he was one of those rowdy ones who used to go on social media and blast them and thing, if it would have been different, you know, than the bringing Pogba, the bringing Bruno, all these fellas and them to play that position. And if we had signed the right kind of players to support Mata, then watch Perlo. Oh, men used to tell me Mata can't play there because he's slow. Us, Perlo is a turtle. But you know what? He's an intelligent player and he could pick a pass. That Mata, men saying Mata slow. But you know Mata don't stop run. The man plays such basic football that collect, look up, pass, find a position to support. Today, the entire team was playing supportive football. We was playing close to each other. So that is why, as Nico said, the flicks and the little back heels and the little things was coming off because men was going into space. Then I just don't know, boy. I don't know what to say
And
again about this team.
mhm.
Really
Before
and true.
Phil go, yeah, before Phil go, and I would add to that, right? As you spoke about Mata there, the quality and the balance in the midfield, I think we got it right. As much as Scott still was a passenger,
Mm-hmm.
I think the
Mm-hmm.
quality in the midfield, I think we had a midfield today, except for Scott. We had a midfield, and I
Nah,
mean,
don't fight the man. Scott and all was decent today.
Yeah.
nah,
Chef.
chef,
Scott wasn't
chef,
bad, man.
Come now,
chef.
yeah. Come
He,
now,
he
yeah. He was
looking good because
basic,
Matic
basic.
Mata look good.
He was
Matic
basic,
Mata
real
look good,
basic.
and Bruno just was composed.
Dan, Bruno, dog. I just want to but I just wish we had technology that I could pelt something from Trinidad and it could go through the screen and hit Bruno. Dog, Bruno Fernandez does try some passes that makes the only person it makes sense to is him. And it is be like, Dan, oh God, just make a simple short pass now, boy. You want to try all kind of thing, Dan. Today was one of his better games, admittingly, and thank God he didn't kick that penalty. I couldn't take that
Nah,
hop and skip today. Dan, I don't understand. I know everybody have the method to the madness, but I want to believe all of us here learn to play football from small. So a coach just tell you, pick a corner and drive the ball. You make a good follow through and you drive the ball. This bullshit about hop and skip like you're playing moral. Then just
nah,
go
the
up
man
to
had
the
that.
ball and hit the ball now.
Jorginho had that. Jorginho had that, and Jorginho does score penalties.
I
Jorginho
want
missed the
to,
last penalty. Let me hear you.
All right, fair enough,
I,
fair
I
enough.
want to, I want to pose.
Georgina Messi Euros and Messi last penalty as well too.
Of
So.
course.
So I want to. So while Chef coming in with his, not Chef, Phil, while you coming with your comment on my question here, I want to put this one up because I hear what Chef was saying, and this was I pulled this comment, Chef, from somebody on Twitter, right? So let me pull it up and Phil, you could go in on it first, and then anybody else after, right? So this person said a half decent cameo against Brentford, and all of a sudden we've had prime Ronaldinho. You talking about Mata here, rotting on the bench. This fan base is embarrassing, and they wonder why old men get new contracts.
That's a very, very stupid comment.
Let me ask.
Because-
Let me ask the panel. Let me ask everybody in the comments. Right? How old are Luka Modric and Toni Kroos in Real Madrid's midfield?
Yep, 37, 37, 38.
Anybody
Guys,
in the
how old?
comments?
Wait, now them so old?
Luka Modric
Man,
is
what's wrong with
36.
you?
Luka
I thought them
Modric
was 35 and thing.
Nah, man, Cruz is so old, man.
Kroos is
Check it.
Are you
35.
sure?
I'm going to
And
check.
if he ain't that old, Cruz playing football so long, in dog years, he must be about 45.
You mean 400?
That's not the best. That's not the best
Nah,
part.
Tony Cruz is 32, why?
How old
Dan,
is
that
he?
man is still. You watch Toni Kroos play football?
Yes, he's
Of course,
32.
that man
I know he
looking,
could be so old.
boy, that man looking like if he ready to retire. I watching and we saying to ourselves, but how Toni Kroos, and then we just make a joke about it, but he might be 32, but you see when them fellas playing professional football since he's 15, 16, it really does take a toll on you eventually,
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
Look at another two players I'm gonna call, right? When Paul Scholes came out to retirement, how old was he? And he was still dictating the midfield.
How about 38? Or close to 38?
When Andre Pirlo was playing at Juventus, he was close to 40.
Yeah.
I don't see why Juan Mata couldn't be given at least 15
But
to 16
you know
games
what,
this season.
Olio? I'll tell you something. It would not work, In hindsight,
You never-
playing
you
matter
never-
would not work,
But
Because-
playing Mata every now and then, not playing Mata every single game, or bringing Mata
Right.
off the bench, right? I would have done that, right? But
In order for it to work with matter, you had to have supportive players. You had to have players that
ballers.
is move, players that is
ballers
think.
in the midfield.
But
And
about today's game, right?
our team don't do that. Not consistent enough either. So it would not work. But at the same time, Dan, I keep on and I'm glad men know because I've been saying it. I just do understand why Mata is not getting sweats when we clearly need somebody who understands that role, and we're not playing him, but we pushing Pogba and Bruno Fernandes in that role, and them fellas and them game and IQ not suited to that role at all.
You get some of the comments, Reams, before we go to Phil?
Yeah.
Plenty
So
piling up.
Phil, so Phil, I'll comment to you after the comments, right? So Simeon on the inside, welcome, buddy, saying, hey, like them fellas is we up today. No doubts. My back
Yep.
wasn't hurting me after that
Finally.
game. You know, sometimes you feel like you carry a whole load. Jody on the inside, blessed night, buddy. He's saying that was a good performance because both teams had nothing to play for.
No pressure, no pressure.
I think Nicole, you say that, right? JP on the inside, good night, buddy. He's saying that this game get me vexed because it shows we could play football, but apparently it's only when these fellas feel to play.
Yeah, I think it gets
boy.
a lot of people vexed.
Yeah. Simeon saying here, no English players started. Yeah.
Alright,
The media must feel fuming. Right? Arun on the inside, good night, buddy. Saying audition starts. Ten Hag is coming. Players know this. Yeah, well, if they didn't know now, they know, Simeon also
Saying
saying
one
here,
thing.
so you're also saying them fellas look too good today. Yes, I hear they're rushing back Maguire to fix that. But sure, if anytime Maguire walk back in that team, it's problems.
After that 3-0 today, boy?
Yeah.
Walk back in that team to do what? Boy,
Well,
Maguire go on that early vacation,
to send me back into despair. Mr. Lynch, good night, buddy. He's saying blessings
Oh,
and
yes,
love.
son.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
man. Thanks for joining. He's saying Zidane wasn't quick either, and Zidane was a boss, right? Hence Zizou earlier. Anderson on the inside, good night, buddy. Thanks for joining.
Yeah, man.
He's saying here Mata for midfield coach, probably in a couple of years because Mata still wants to play. That's why he leaving.
Yeah, Mata wants to. Let me ask you all that. Should he be given another contract?
Not at United.
Nah.
Not at
No?
United.
That boat sail. That
Yeah,
boat sail.
yeah.
Phil, we need that clear out.
Yeah.
No. Hey, I just
The
asked.
team have one man in that squad that I feeling like, we can give a chance to that. But except for Ilanga. I like Ilanga. I find Ilanga having thing,
I like
man.
Ilanga.
I like Ilanga.
David Curtin here on the inside. Good night, buddy. Simeon saying Mata in counter-attack FC material.
True.
Rakesh on the inside, man. Good night, buddy. Thanks for joining. He's saying, I must say, we look damn good today. Everyone was clicking. Would love to see more of the little magician. One. Yeah. I think after today, I mean, we really have nothing much really to play for. I feel we will see more matter. Right? Especially with how,
For the next 2 games?
Yeah, for the next 2 games, we will see matter.
Yeah, we enjoy Mata for the next 2.
Yeah, because remember at the same time he's still on that contract. I don't think he's working for free. So if we could get an extra 2 million on his price,
he's not that type of player. A man real professional, but
Aaron saying here Modric is 36 and Cruz is 32.
Right, Modric will be 37 this year.
Right, so everybody jumping in with the information. Thanks for that, guys.
Yeah, man.
Chef wanna give you a kind of heart attack inside here. 38 and 39. What the hell?
The man does. So I apologize to everybody, but the man does play like he's 40.
I think it's his style of football. No, I think it's his style of football Real Madrid playing that he kind of suit and fit. That way of playing now. Mr. Lynch saying so that's maybe why Donny van de Beek doesn't look good for United. Yeah. So I mean, you see
don't tell Nico that.
Supporting players and think.
Hey, I waiting.
Sylvian saying here you can't have Mata on with forwards who don't run back. Rashford, like how Ilanga and Ronaldo did today.
No, Ronaldo run like a beast.
Yeah, he work, real work. Everson on the inside, good night, buddy. Good night.
There was a play where Ilanga come back, I think was in the left back position, and make a defensive play. Dan, that youth, I so like his work ethic.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
Quality at the night too. Quality at the night. Which is most important.
That attack in the second half that Ronaldo made, it was like, holy shit.
Yeah. So Phil, tell me now. I mean, I get some thoughts from Nico and Chef, right?
Yeah, today was 2 things: a bit of swagger and a bit of control from United, right? At the end of the day, we ain't got nothing to play for because we already cemented our place in the Europa League. So, but as most people said, these players kind of auditioning to be in Ten Hag's starting 11 or to be part of Ten Hag's vision come next year, right? I remember I messaged Reem today, and during the game, I was asking why we got so much swagger, right? And he was basically right. Mata, Matic, CR, these guys just linking up with each other so nicely, right? And that's not playing football at a fast pace. That's just the IQ, right?
Correct.
At the end of the day, these guys know their limits, right? Ronaldo, Matic, and Mata aren't the quickest players anymore. Well, Mata was never quick. Matic was never quick, but we all know CR.
Never.
Right? They're at that age where, you know what? They're going to sacrifice what little speed I have for intelligence, right? So I got to use all my energy. So seeing Mata, Matic, and CR linking up and playing well today. CR was freestyling and showboating today with little flicks.
Yeah.
What's not, right? Man was enjoying himself today. That should be CR for 30 games a season, not just for 1 or 2 games a season. But at the end of the day, it was a comfortable 3-0 win. And, one thing that I paid very close attention to was the end of the game where the camera was going around and showing the people or the players who were clapping, right? Don't get me wrong, the players that are leaving, they were clapping because they know this will be their last game at Old Trafford, right? But there were other first-team players who were clapping. And one thing that resonated with me is that they're telling the fans, this bullshit will never happen again, right? We will never put you through this again.
Right? We hope so, yes. We hope so, yes.
Or else, if that the case, then like Chef, I want to float stuff through the TV,
Yeah, me too. I perceived it that way, right? The way how the guys were clapping, obviously there were the guys that were clapping because this is my last season at United, thanks to the memories and what's not, right? But then I had other first team players that were clapping and saying, you know what? We put you fans through a lot of shit this season. We put you fans through a lot of despair. We had you fans head turning grey, cursing each other. This is never going to happen again.
That,
That's
Let's
did
hope so.
anybody
Let's hope so. Let's hope so.
did anybody take in the Everton game yesterday?
yes.
Let me tell you something. Them Everton players that make up their mind. Listen, we had to have more pride than this, We're not going and get relegated, and we're not going to get licked today, And you could have see them fans was feeling that effort, and them fans will on that side yesterday,
It's a shame. It's a shame that Richarlison gonna get a lengthy ban because of the celebration, right? But other than that, the Everton players were playing with heart. You could tell for sure, right?
Yeah.
And that's all we ask as United fans from our players.
That's
Play with heart.
it.
Play with heart. Leave it all on the pitch. We get beat 1-0, 2-0, 2-1, but you can tell
We'll
the guys are
take that,
trying.
but we know,
That-
listen, them fellas fight.
Yeah, that why Rashford sitting on the bench for 90 minutes today.
Yeah.
Then that what he had to do.
Yeah,
This season
yeah,
done,
Yeah,
Um,
you gotta get your act together.
So very interesting because JP bringing this here, right? He say, fellas, since we're talking about player age, we know Matic is 33, right? Now, and Phil, kind of identified the standout performers today. Ronaldo, how old Ronaldo is earlier?
37,
37. Mata, how old Mata is?
34.
34.
35, around that.
Matic,
33.
33. So all I
Cavani-
realize
Now,
is
bear in mind, though,
Cavani, Cavani really
remember,
stand out today.
Matic still has a year on his contract,
Yeah, but he leaving.
indicated that
He's
he
leaving,
leaving.
yeah.
Yeah. But the point is, it's all the older players who really stepped up and stood out today. And they kind of carry the team today. I mean, Ronaldo's been doing it for much longer because he's been playing regularly. But
Yeah.
Matic, and Ronaldo, the three oldest players, if I could say, on the team, bad goalkeepers and Heaton and them fellas and them. But they are the ones that actually carried us on experience and
that
IQ intelligence.
says a lot.
That
And
was the
if you
difference
think
today for
about
me.
it, though,
Because
every
pace, did I
time-
get blow past for pace, But
Yeah, generally
intelligence
speaking.
and experience.
and this is what I and Phil was saying the whole season. Generally speaking, when Matic plays well,
Chef, I don't know.
So
if
for
a
some
lot
reason,
of-
after 60 minutes, he just had a kind of, malfunction. But before
Chef,
I take him off
I don't-
after, but start him,
Yeah,
so we can have that kind of control.
But
Yeah.
Chef, I don't know if a lot of United fans realize that Matic is one very composed with the football.
yeah,
And two, Matic has a little bit of creativity in him.
he does.
Yes, he
As
was
a
true
matter
balls
of fact,
today.
I dare say
Yeah.
he
Real
have a
true
lot
balls today.
more than little bit, But that is not what he dared to do.
But you have it in the locker.
He have it.
and that was the team lacking. That quality
Before,
on the ball.
before today's goal for CR's last two goals, who assisted them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nemanja Matic.
Yeah. Arun saying here, forget the fact that we, the fans, get our ease up today. Thank God they here, got a little thing too. Although Dalot tried to give him a heart attack a couple of times.
Yeah, boy.
Dan, what is wrong with Dalot today?
Yeah, Dalot.
Hey,
Dalot
Dalot had a mixed bag. Dalot had a real
Dalot had
mixed
a
Yeah,
bag.
bag.
very mixed. Attacking wise, he was good.
Yeah, Dalot
No
passed
attack.
was real good
But
today.
that is about
Defensively.
3 passes.
Yo, boy,
Dalot
CR
did this
CR
to
should
here,
have had a hat.
and
CR should have had a
they're
hat
like he
trick
wanted to
today, boy.
shoot him.
Cristiano Ronaldo should have had a hat trick today, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Um,
first ball from Dalot.
Pass from Dalot
Quality,
was
boy.
onside. Should have stayed
Yeah.
on onside for that second goal. And then
Yeah.
penalty.
Yeah, he should have stayed, and he know he should have stayed on side.
He know exactly. He was vexed.
Anderson saying here, remember a few years ago when Matic had scored a beauty.
Yeah, Crystal Palace. Yeah.
Yes, there's a way to
The
Crystal
bullet,
Palace.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Simeon also saying here, Phil, it's kind of hard to miss Matic creativity when he line up next to Fred and McTominay.
That was
Because you gotta be
saying,
working for them fellas and them.
Yeah, creative. And my Fred strength is to win back the ball. Let's
Yeah.
win it and give it to Bruno or whoever else.
And he
Um,
had to take it.
Fred also keeps the ball moving as well too, right?
Take in,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, hear this, right, fellas? Now, I had two things I want to talk on because before we came live, we were talking about this thing with Lingard, right? But before we get there, right? I just want to talk about this. So we saw, after because today was the last home game of the season. We were hearing before the game that the players were going to, do some kind of lapper for the fans, right? And we were all
Yeah.
hoping and praying that it would be a good one, and that would have been so coming off the back of a win, right? So that was cool. Um, so while it was the last game of the season for the team, some players it would have been their last home game for the club, right? And I'm talking in specific about Matic, Mata, Lingard, Cavani, and probably we could stretch and say Bailly and
Jones.
Jones, right? But we're only talking about the guys who we kind of for certain know that leaving, right? Even though we could have, I mean, we know that the likelihood of Bailly staying on, that go on, he can even come on today, right? And Jones, well, right? So the question is, how would you, summarize their United careers? Matic, Mata, Lingard, Cavani. How, did they,
Giving them a,
meet.
you want to give them a grade?
You could. If you want to, if they met expectation, how would you summarize their United careers?
All
Because I
right.
mean, chances are this is the last time these guys gonna be representing the club, playing at Old
All
Trafford.
right. Nico, you going?
Yeah. For me, we didn't get the best out of them, right? Any of them. Well, if you want to talk about, in fact, yeah, well, I just talk about Matic. Um, who else? Who else even that
Lingard
deserve a
and
mention?
Cavani.
Mata, Matic,
Nah,
Lingard,
Lingard, Cavani.
Jones, Cavani.
Some of them deserve talking about them too. But anyway,
You
right?
you go through. You
You
go
go
through.
with I want Lingard to the queue, right? Cavani they really want to be here, so I check any Jones. Uh, I'm a split from a while now that that's what I mean. However, um, Matan, I don't think we had the right players around them to get the best out of them. I think after Fergie would have left, we really didn't build for the future. We are just picking stop gaps all over the place, and the stop gaps didn't work as a team. We didn't mesh as a team. We would have had some decent games, in patches, but we was never that force to reckon with. Now. That I think was recruitment, and what that would affected the quality of these players, because the quality of these players need quality around them also, to really
Yeah.
get the best out of them now. So I think we didn't get the best out of them because of that. I think our equipment, went down the drain. We just looking for high profile players, right? More or less to sell, for the commercial value of the club, and not caring about the football aspect at the club. So I guess Mata was one of them. If you really check, Mata was a commercial as much as he had quality. The club would have also seen him as somebody with commercial power now, right? And a lot of the even simple as much as we needed a striker, right? Was Cavani the striker to go to? Was Sanchez at the point the striker to? You know what I mean? So I think we didn't get the right pieces around these players to really get the best of them. For Lingard, um, I think his time was up at United a while now again because he's a player who
He needs playing time. He's a confidence player.
the confidence player. He wasn't getting it at United, and for that, I find that for himself, he should have seen that maybe coaches would have
Yeah.
given
I
him
don't know
hope.
what Ole could have tell that boy.
Yeah, he would have given him hope that he would have gotten playing time. But for his career, I think he should have left. He should have left a while ago. And the season at West Ham would have showed that he still has quality. But again, at United there's a lot of misfits now. So a lot of misfits, an average player like Lingard, would look even worse. And again, compounded with the pressure for playing for Manchester United, I think it was just yeah, he had to leave a while ago. Yeah. So if I had to grade, um, Mata, I think, I mean,
Although we don't forget
Maybe
things
a
like one
six.
feel and thing, because them fellas, I think, while
Yeah.
we're saying correct, and Nick,
Mm.
I still feel, no, but you really said it correct, because
Uh,
the club as a whole failed the players. But the
That is,
players individually
I
still
was gonna,
gave us,
yeah, I was
some
gonna
moments.
start.
Yeah.
I was actually gonna start but Nico finished now. When Nico finished,
no, that isn't really. You know, what I mean, it just I was just gonna grade it. Grade
yeah,
well, if we grade a matter over his time at United, maybe a
Was
six
it
and a half.
me or the
You
public?
know, Matic, I think he gave yeoman service. You know, 7. Um, Lingard, I think he gave as much as he could have given, 6.5. And yeah, and that's it for me. I rating Jones and Cavani and whoever else. Yeah.
Alright.
So I would say, you see them fellas and them, with the exception of Cavani, because he's an outcome. But Matic, Mata, Lingard, in my opinion, them fellas and them career is an indictment on Manchester United management over the years.
Yeah.
I honestly, a lot of people, general comment would be, we didn't see the best of them fellas and them, so you're giving them a C. But that's not fair on the players. A lot of players, it have some players could just not play for 10 games and then jump in the free. That is Matic. Matic, when Matic is called upon, he does his job. But you see, generally, Mata and Lingard especially, them fellas is confidence players. Them fellas have to be getting consistent playing time
Tonight.
for you to get the best out of them. And really and truly, Manchester management, and we could go as far as from Van Gaal come up, was misusing these players and them. I was not a fan of Jesse Lingard when he came from the academy, right? I had more like this clownish Brazilian,
Pereira.
Pereira. But Pereira got the promotion to the first team before Lingard, and Lingard came up after. And Lingard consistently won me over. Because one thing you could say about Lingard is when it comes to big games, Lingard does show up. Forget all the dancing and all them things. He does show up and he does play with his heart. But I personally find it was a bad move on his part to take that new contract. And it was even worse for our management to offer that man a contract, knowing that I don't know how them could have sell that to him, that we're gonna play here and just not play the boy at all. That was real poor on our management and next Ole doing Ole. But then again we could say Ole, but it's not Ole giving out contract, It's our board.
And taking it.
So
Okay.
That part to do it too.
so yeah, so
don't
I
know
would
if
say Mata, given Mata B minus. Matic, but I really like Matic. I wish we did get Matic in
Before
when
Chelsea.
he younger days.
Yeah, before Chelsea.
Matic is a
Exactly.
class throwback centre back player. I give him
Yeah,
Matic
boy.
A minus.
What?
Yeah, no.
When you rated him from when he was playing for Chelsea, or?
Dog, there was a time there was a time on our team. Matic was the best player on the team, A couple
for very
seasons ago,
long. For very long.
Yeah. So now
Because
I
he was
rate
the only
Matic
specialist
on-
player for that position, you see. So he go always shine when he
Correct.
playing.
I rate Matic. Who else it have? Cavani is a clown. Then for all the thing, Cavani's a great goal scorer. But then it was real failure with Cavani and that fitness thing this season. And to me, like Cavani really didn't want to be by wee boy.
Clear
You
as day.
always injured, so
Clear as day.
this season I think he really don't want to be there.
The man can really score, but so yeah. Who else it have? That is
Jones,
basically Jones.
you want your rating, Jones?
So I'll say this about Jones, right? Jones for the last couple years was injured.
Say about 5 years
I
now.
don't know.
Out of the 10
I
years
don't
he at
know.
United, about 5 years he injured.
I don't know what contract. I don't know what contract Jones signed that he was at by us all them years injured and not playing, but he's still at by us.
It's again
So
contract.
He was real fortunate to be there.
yeah, no, he must be sign like a 6-7 year contract.
I don't know
Yeah.
how
So
he do that.
so
And he
Jones,
get
Jones,
extension on top of
yeah,
it.
Jones crazy, yeah. Jones had some of the most kick-serious howlers, eh?
Yeah,
But
but he's
He's
English
meme
too.
central. Meme
He's
central.
English. Chef, if he was from anywhere else, he gone long time. But he's
Yeah.
Our
English.
Jones was a decent defender when he now come.
nah, Jones was a decent man, yeah. When he came from
When he
Fulham,
was playing right back, yeah.
Blackburn.
Blackburn.
When he was playing right back, he had some decent games.
He played
But
he
still
played
was
good centre back games for us.
yeah, he played defensive midfield for each other defensive
Jones
midfield, but
just,
Yeah, and it has been good.
he still did not.
I
He
think he
man,
was
man used to say he
consistent
better
enough.
than O'Shea. I could have never find
Nah.
Phil Jones was better than O'Shea.
Nah. Let me just get some comments, fellas, right? And Lion, welcome, and thanks for joining. Simeon here saying Lingardinho is like Peter Pan, right? He never grew up to that player maturity and consistency. Yeah, you know, people always used to refer to Lingard as a young player, even though he closer to 30.
because he
You
looked
know?
young, huh?
Yeah.
Because he look young.
And the saying here, Mata was pure commercial at Kagawa at the same time, yet Moyes bringing Mata in January. I think what happened to Moyes is Moyes needed a big signing, you know? And that's where Mata came in.
Yeah.
Moyes needed a
But
big
Mata
signing.
was a good pickup though.
Yeah. It turned out to be a good pickup, but at the point in time, it didn't make
A lot
sense.
of players around him too.
You know, hey, Dion on the inside, good night, Dion. She said nice to get the win, for sure.
Kagawa.
Yeah. He also said from Moyes to now, it always have been patchwork, nothing,
Exactly.
you know, it could truly last. Yeah. Jody saying here, all is real two-tongue people. The amount of time all they put down these same players, one fat match win, and them fellas is the best thing since sliced bread. And I know what I'm saying because for the past 3 years, I must be missed 4 shows. No, I think we're missing, Jody, is the question I asked them, you know, over the time. You know, how we would summarize, you know, these particular players. It's not necessarily, you know,
today's performance.
or over the last 2 years or stuff like that.
Me, personally, to me today was just a footnote, you know. You notice we not really concentrating on the game today because today was, we win, cool. But we kind of just be ending off the season and, you know.
Yeah, that's the kind of mode we're in right now. We kind of looking at
Yeah.
everything in a whole now.
This is just me, but Jed, me really getting caught up in today at all, you know.
Yeah. And that's like how we beat Brentford for that coach now. I remember last time we played.
Real bump up him out, eh?
Yeah, you bump up him out.
Yeah.
But there's a team I like, eh?
Yeah. I like him, Buema and Tony. Yeah. So Lion, I want to pose the same question to you before we could move on, right? We're just looking back at, you know, a couple of players who would have had their send off today, right? Matic, Mata, Lingard, Cavani, you know.
Mata really done? That confirmed?
Yeah. They say he wouldn't be moving. He wouldn't be continuing at the end of the season.
Yeah, you know, I feeling like AC Milan done sign me.
What's that?
Why say AC? Why? Mata or Matic?
Matic.
Oh, okay.
No, kind of Mata really leaving because of
he leaving. Well, what I'm saying, unless Ten Hag come with specific, you know, things to keep him, but more than likely he not staying on.
I honestly, I think for the last, most of these players came in like post Alex Ferguson. I think we I don't think we got the best out of these players because the business wasn't good enough around them, right? We had Matic. Matic is a very good player. Mata, you see, Mata is always class, but we didn't get to use these players in the way we were supposed to based on the fact that our recruitment was always poor. We're trying to buy players too expensive and we weren't recruiting good, right? But I rate Mata overall as a player, as a professional, Matic as a professional. Um, Lingard is a decent player, but I think he overstayed his time and I think they kind of give him a 6 for 9 in the end, hoping that he'll sign a deal so they could sell him for more. I was kind of a backstab in a sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, again, Jones overstayed his time. Man could even
By about 5 years.
he couldn't even have
About
a
10.
testimonial because fans didn't want to come, right? But he served his time for when we needed him, and that was under Sir Alex Ferguson. After that, it was just injuries and injuries and injuries. So
Yeah.
he more or less was paid to be on the hospital bed.
To keep the doctor sharp.
Yeah, to keep the doctor on his toes. New injury, okay, Jones.
Yeah.
Right on that chart, Jones is the benchmark
Yeah.
of all the injuries United could have.
We could handle this because Jones had it. We could handle this. We see this one before. Yeah, Jones had that one. Yeah.
Jones had that. Pull the chart, put Jones chart in. Let me see how we fix this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cavani, he gave us one good year, and then after that, his injuries right through.
Right true.
I don't think Cavani really wanted to stay.
Yeah.
They only say, okay, I want to keep him for the next year. Ole got fired and Ragnick come and, as Reem say, beg him to stay.
He
Right.
beg. He can't be the
And
next
I
fella.
think
Shots, man.
Cavani, these players, yeah, they're good, but it always goes back to our recruitment where we didn't get the best out of these players, right? We had a lot of mediocre players in the team with 1 or 2 world-class players. So we couldn't get the best that we needed out of these players. Who again leaving? Well, Baye might be leaving too. Baye and see the pitch.
Misused.
Last time Baye see that play football was what?
That
AFCON?
before, yeah. Just before he went to
Last time
AFCON.
he played football at all.
Yeah, they call him back. He man go in, he man reach Spain. Call him back. The man play. Had a good game.
Dan, I
That was
just
it.
really wonder
I like
about our
Baye, but to be honest, I don't know if Baye has some sort of discipline issue. Because I can't see it. I can't see
Yeah.
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
these players getting injured and Baye still can't get a little play.
Yeah.
I don't know
Dan,
if it's something more.
the people put on Phil Jones before Baye, you know.
Yeah, boy.
What I'm telling you, boy.
It's had to be something more that take place for Baye not to get played. He probably
Yeah.
in discipline or I don't know. It's had to be something because
But how we gonna be indisciplined and then now give him a new contract?
no,
And he on the bench every game.
something happening behind the scenes with him. Because Ragnick didn't want to play the man after he come back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he says something, they hear he want to leave. Yeah.
Remember when he responded to the posts on Instagram about Maguire? He started over Maguire. So I don't know if it is that too. I don't know. But
Anybody would be mad at
Yeah.
seeing Maguire doing nonsense every week and you can't get a sweat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I show why you with 1 foot could have been do better than what Maguire was.
Well, you know something? If Mata was getting playing time, you know Mata would have probably be the skipper.
Yeah. But Mata destined to leave anyway.
my thing is, and I agree with a lot of what Ole was saying, a lot of the players, and this is probably to kind of respond to Jody's comment as well. It's not that we, two-tongue. It's because when we reviewing a game, we're reviewing individual performances for that game. And if it's consistent over time, then we gonna be critical over time, right? But as it would relate to certain players, it's no doubt that, the likes of Matic is quality Cavani capable of, right? But because of the lack of structure at Man United, it make a lot of players look subpar, right? And we just always talk about it here. Which player, since the sign for United over time, really improve, But at the same time, you'll still we have a lot of players to give us moments, right? That's why I could always look back and talk about one field, them games when Mata was doing things so and scoring goals against Liverpool, right? We talk about the goal Matic scored against Crystal Palace, and we know the kind of quality Matic had. I remember the season when Mourinho bought Matic. I can't remember who was the first game he played. The first game he played for us, I can't remember who he played. I can't remember
the match.
Yeah, Matic was dominating, right? And we saw it for a good couple games. It's only it's only until after different coaches come in with different ideas, players suffer because, a different coach could have different preferences and that kind of thing, right? So that didn't help with the consistency, and longevity of certain players. So that's why you can find, it have no player that we could sit on here and comfortably say over the time when they signed till now, they have been consistently good. We can't do that, right? So that's why when we look back at our player career, we're really trying to look at the positives to give a grade. As it relate to Lingard. Lingard for me has always been a patch player. Purple patch come up because of Lingard for me, and that's how I learned that purple patch term, and it's because of Lingard, right? And for some reason, Lingard purple patch always used to come about when he was playing Arsenal, right? So that was we used to tell him
he is a streak player.
A streak player, correct? That was Lingard, and Lingard, you will play him through that streak, and he will come up big for you. The man scored the goal to take us to the FA Cup semi-final. You understand?
He scored big goals first.
Yeah. So when you look at Lingard through his patches, Lingard has earned, the right to be called a Manchester United player. But at the end of the day, we can't say Lingard is consistent and then, and then not make the same reason for him, for the other players and not him. So all I'm saying is, it's unfortunate that, these players leaving and we never got to see them at the levels they were at for us to buy them,
Yeah.
Let me just get some comments here. Everson saying here, fellas, remember Kagawa was Bundesliga player of the season before we bought him. He just wasn't suited to the English game.
I don't believe that. You know why? Because he was taking Rooney pick. He was playing Rooney
No, and then remember Fergie did fall out with Rooney, so Kagawa was that player, and then Rooney and
but
Kagawa
was a big player.
Yeah, big player.
He was running in the league.
Yeah.
But again, he wasn't English.
But at
he wasn't
Arsenal,
English,
he wasn't that much better.
What's that?
Where's that?
At Arsenal, he wasn't that much better.
He never went to Arsenal.
No,
Kagawa?
You talking
Nah,
about
Mkhitaryan.
Mkhitaryan, you mixing it?
Kagawa didn't go Arsenal?
Nah.
No.
He went back Dortmund.
He went
He went back
Yeah.
Dortmund after.
Yeah.
Simeon saying here, Pogba is a key example of buying a player and not using them with a prime DM. A prime DM, yeah. In a way that helps the team.
I noticed stuck.
We just buy them for commercial.
Yeah, but still, again, has always go back as much as Chef maybe does say that Pogba is a tournament player, right? Still, I believe if we had the right complement in that squad, if you see a different Pogba.
Plenty players that look different, Nico. Plenty players too.
Mata.
Nico,
Yeah, the thing, Nico, I'm not really going to disagree with you, but what I will say is how much games a season Pogba has played.
This
I'm
is
not buying that now because Pogba played with many different players in France, with plenty different types of players. And you could see that, okay, Pogba was never really settled in United. Every time he goes to international break, you always say in a rumor. You ready to
always. Because I do the change.
It was pulling his strings too much,
Chef, let the man rest in peace now.
He could rest in peace, but he was a clown.
Oh, good. When do you walk? When do you walk?
Jody
Right.
saying,
And you're correct, he's doing his work. But I personally find Pogba as his client. If you have respect for the club and for your employer, you could rein in your agent. You could
True.
tell him, you feel his we name Riola, wherever, you feel he was saying them things without Pogba knowing about it? Come on. No way.
yeah. Jody saying here, Reem, weekly dose of AM9. Or let's think he'll be a money player next season. I doubt it. I doubt it.
Let's talk about Latoro that offer. I don't know
I
if it's
doubt.
that one.
I doubt.
What you think, Green? You don't think the new coach will give him a chance?
I don't know, boy. I don't know.
It's
See,
still a man talking to-
yeah, I mean, Ten Hag, from what I reading, do want to talk to all the players, even the ones on loan, right? But
But they want to leave them too, right?
yeah,
Chef,
but I,
Chef, you have to remember, right, Chef? If Ten Hag were to stay, Ten Hag were to play at least 25 to 30 games that season. So, yes, you're not getting that with Martial, but so let me say if he put our next striker on hold, all right, Anthony looking good, but here what? I think I'll go with Anthony Martial, right? And Martial gave him 10 games for this season. And I'm gonna be looking to get your bus.
I
How old is Martial now?
26. But I can't fight him because that injury thing really affecting the plan. The man.
Yeah, but you see how he quarrel with that player on the sideline, Ten Hag?
Yeah, boy.
Yeah.
I can
Yeah,
imagine Martial sulking.
No, imagine Rashford. Imagine you do Rashford, that one gonna go with Rashford. Rashford gonna
Rashford
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 will
had
go
10
and call the
Yeah.
Prime Minister.
Yeah, I tell you. Imagine you do Rashford that. That is it from Rashford and Rashford is looking a little fragile already.
Now, right, you see this as we had talked last match day, last time I was on. Rashford, this season coming is a make or break for Rashford.
Yeah. I'm gonna
But
make
I
going through that, boy. I'm gonna make going through that.
Yeah, unless Ten Hag get the power that we hoping he gets.
Yeah.
I know the English people in the club go fight
Boy,
to keep Rashford.
Them could say what they want.
Yeah.
What is to sell Rashford? That
Yeah,
big
I'm telling you, that's a big thing like MBE, you know.
real
Oh,
Well,
JP
right.
saying here.
Let them
JP
go and feed
But-
children at our next
No,
club.
but the thing is, who gonna take him?
Yeah,
Let me really check. Who gonna take him? Everton?
To
Yeah.
play what position? Because he's not a
Mbappe
centre
leaving,
forward.
Mbappe leaving, so you go replace Mbappe?
PSG.
Yeah.
Well,
Neymar no might be.
Yeah, he might go there.
JP saying here, Lion, wrap it up nicely. Poor recruitment. We hardly ever sign a player in a position we needed. Yeah, that's happening. Oh God, boy. Jody saying here, people don't forget to organize your All United FPL team with 4 games to go. Winner
Yeah, put up,
will get a 2022-2023 team. Josie customize. Yes, I remember Jody sponsoring that.
Next season, all you have to permit this.
Really, we had to start to pop them
The scores,
the league, boy. Pop
the
the
ta- the
league.
table.
Yeah,
Wow.
you see what's going on there.
All right. Thanks for the reminder, Jody.
Fine, mate.
Arun saying here, hard to believe Pogba started the first match of the season with 4 assists in 1 game alone.
And how much
Yeah,
we have now?
Right?
Fine.
Plenty players disappoint after that first game. You know?
Yep.
So, guys, just want to get out from the sponsors and then I have one more topic to talk about, right?
All right, and good to see ProGlow again. ProGlow Collision Center. The services offered: auto body repair and refinish, muffler repairs, replacement of auto body parts, windscreen replacement. Right. Again, you're seeing the number at the bottom there: 317-2599, and WhatsApp 721-7368. And additionally, all you have to do is say that you come recommended from all in all United, and definitely you get extra discount on that. Yeah.
Yes, so thanks very much to ProGlow for sponsoring this segment of All in All United. All right. So guys, we was talking about it before we came live, fellas, right? This whole thing with Lingard, right? Now, with the whole knowledge that this is our last game, Ragnick gave, everyone that was leaving, Mata,
A
Cavani,
little
Matic,
cameo.
You know, he gave them the chance to have a send-off now. You know, except Lingard. Right? Do you all think, you know, considering that Lingard, you know, came through the academy, blah, 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 and, you know, he's a real Man United boy, you know? Do you think that he should have been afforded, you know, that kind of regard or respect? You know, because even on top of that, right? His brother went to social media, you know, and he had this to say. He said 20 years of blood, sweat, and tears, 4 domestic trophies, 3 cup final goals, not even a farewell. He was a little bitter here. He said, no wonder it's Conference League next year. He's been there since 9 years old and didn't even get a send-off.
I think he jumped.
So as we were discussing it before we came on, I get what the fella's saying, but a couple things, right? You only have a set amount of substitutions to make. And when you watch the substitutions, I guess we could have said Cavani or Jones, but Jones there as long too.
Yeah.
So who is we to not say Jones don't deserve a send-off?
True.
Them got there longer than Jones.
Huh?
Them got there way longer than Jones. Academy.
He there longer than Cavani too.
I find Cavani should have stood on that bench.
I agree with Lion there, no?
No, come
I
back.
telling you, I agree with Lion there.
No, I don't disagree. I don't.
He wasn't getting
But my next point though is he's saying 20 years of blood, blah 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 blah. But he hasn't seen, as I told earlier, the club make your brother a millionaire, yo. You feel your brother was playing for free hour.
And he ain't playing for that whole 20 years. You know how much loan he was on?
Oh, so this nonsense. He could only talk now because I saw the phone where he using to tweet that is money from Jesse, what the club give him. So go so. Fire for that.
For me, yes, is the last home game, but United still have games to play.
That's
you know?
it.
Nobody
Yeah,
send off
it's
is send off is in front of the home fans.
Yeah,
The home game.
but hear what? United traveling fans is a big fan base.
Nico,
Yeah.
it's a home
Yeah, but
game.
it's Old
You don't
Trafford,
understand.
it's Old
You don't
Trafford.
understand. It's a
Come
home
now,
game.
That's
good.
different. I wasn't putting on Cavani. Cavani,
Yeah, Cavani, and I can agree with Lion. You know what I mean?
God
At
will
least
get his sweat.
for respect, you know, for some kind of, I mean, you don't lead in 3-0, you know what I mean? Yeah,
Because
I
all
guess.
Cavani come and do is run on a roller skates.
Yeah,
I
but
want question.
here what, right?
I
But
want
here what?
question.
But remember, here this now, right? So last game, Jesse pulled out for whatever reason, right?
Family.
He had some family issues, right?
Personal issue. Then.
So let me say he didn't train from then till today. But for Ralph to make up the squad, he had to pick players because you saw it had Alvaro Fernandez on the bench, it had Garnacho on the bench, right? You had to make up your squad. If Cavani, I just saying, Cavani coming back from injury was training the whole week. Jesse had trained since the last game. You think he should come on for a farewell today? I just saying.
Well, if for me,
Because now you maybe even risking injury to Jesse. You know what I mean? At a professional level now.
yeah, I
ahead.
hear what you're saying.
But that's this year, right?
No, but I think
I don't have to be.
no. I think what you're saying there is a very valid consideration, and I think as well. Ralph did kind of say something close to what you're saying there in terms of when Jesse came back came back to training, right? But I just found that leading 3-0 in a home game where you know what it means for a particular player more than a next player, right? Because for me, putting on a Man United jersey don't mean much for Cavani, right?
Yeah.
At least I think so, right?
Yeah,
As
Jesse
opposed to-
is true Manchester.
As opposed to a
but
Manchester,
it-
as opposed to Jesse Lingard, right?
Yeah.
I think it would have been for me. And I going based on the whole Fields vibes, right? It had nothing to do with wherever because I mean training, he ain't come up to training, wherever. That must be the yardstick Ralph was using.
Right.
But what I'm saying is you're talking about a true man here, the man really true, and he actually leaving the club, right? This is the opportunity to at least get his send off against in front of the home fans, right? I think it would have been game at 2 minutes, game at 3 minutes. You
I-
know,
I-
I
yeah.
didn't even see. I didn't even see the need to bring on Cavani. Cavani to do what?
Right. Right. So here what, right? And to me, and I agree that maybe, well, technically I agree, not fully agreed in terms of it should have been Jesse for Cavani, right? However, I think that is why United has reached where it has reached now, right?
Sentiments.
Where we want to give players favors, right?
Sentiments.
Yeah.
And here what I'm saying, Ralph trying to cut out all of that. So Ralph work start already, right? If you deserve to play, right? That is the culture I starting from now. So I now waiting till for Ten Hag to come for men to know they serious business. For men to know for it to trade, for it to play at a train, right? And it I know sentiment thing here. When it's time game time, I am a professional. I am paid to be the coach of this team, and that no sentiment thing, and that is what he would expect from even from Ten Hag coming, because don't expect no sentiment from Ten Hag, you know.
No,
That
Ten Hag. I was reading
that
something. Ten Hag.
the hair was
Ten Hag
the hair
dread,
here,
you know.
the hair here for 10 years now, so the hair should start in front of head,
you gotta watch his son
right?
too.
So
You
here
understand what I'm
better.
saying?
Good
The
point,
here
good point,
naughty
yeah, good point,
position.
Nico.
So,
Yeah, good
so
point, good
Ralph starting from now, right? There is the standard we set at Manchester United, and that is where we're gonna be from now until we like it. That is up to them.
I guess I agree with that, Nico. I agree with that. And I guess if the player was more so retiring, because it have big
Right.
clubs who not on sentiment,
Yeah.
they still kind of honor players who retiring now.
Yeah.
You know. So I guess if probably Lingard was really retiring as opposed to
Lingard go get
going
Lingard go get one of them. What's it called?
testimonial.
Yeah, you got testimonial. But he not retiring.
No, I did.
Yeah.
I don't you get testimonial.
But I
God,
get your point. I get your
lion,
point. I get your point, Nico. I
No,
get
you
your
had
point.
to be. Was he a professional footballer, senior player for 10 years?
I think
Yeah.
so, you know.
Yeah,
Yes.
10
Yeah.
years?
I think
Yeah.
so. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yes.
he's about 29
Um,
now. He's about 29 now.
That
Yeah.
demand
Right.
since
A lot of the
demand
time-
since under Fergie.
No, what I say? He didn't really play. He didn't play under Fergie.
Yeah, Lingard.
Like
played
the
a
man
couple-
when I epic up under Fergie.
FA Cup under Fergie, no. He went not under Van Gaal.
Oh yeah. He was on loan under Fergie.
He was on real loan under
Yeah,
Fergie. He went
yeah.
on kind of.
I guess he'd still be on that as a Manchester United player, even if
Player.
on loan.
Yeah. Anderson asking here 3 cup final goals. All I could remember the 3.
I don't know. He scored in the.
I know FA Cup final for sure.
He scored the Carling Cup final.
I think Lion had to move a little closer. Right? I can't remember which 3 it is, Anderson, but I mean I doubt he brother will go on social media and like, you know, I guess he'll get mashed up for that.
Yeah.
You know, JP saying, is it official? Yeah, well, I mean, he didn't accept a new contract, and he contract expire at the end, you know, so it's a nothing on the table.
Yeah.
It's a nothing on the table for him, right? But yeah, just over Cavani, he's saying, Anderson saying Lingard deserves a send-off, but how long has he been on the first team? I think that's what Lion was asking, right? Simeon also saying here, they make the man stay in January just to do this. It's been a sour relationship between the team
Blame
and
Ole.
Lingardinho.
Blame
You gotta blame Lingard for taking it, for falling for it.
You take that
Yep.
bit easy.
Take the
going.
habit.
Yeah.
And remember, and it's all Lingard is Lingard agent because Lingard is the advice.
Who is not he, brother?
I hope Big Brother isn't the agent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Simeon,
Well, now you'll be in West Ham playing in Europa semi-finals.
Nico Simeon saying here, yet Maguire is captain, Ralph and start nothing.
But what's my and I can agree with you, but other than today, right? We have been conceding goals on that if it's Maguire, if it's Varane, if it's who, so
yeah.
I can't really, but I don't know.
JP saying here, Nico, I'm following your point here, but why bring on Phil Jones? That was a sentiment. That wasn't sentiment too.
I don't know. I'm not sure of that.
I think
on a technical level, I'm not sure that, or tactical level, sorry, I'm not sure of that. I don't think that, you know.
because I think
I see that.
Ralph did say he went when he brought on Cavani, he went to a back five to play two up top because he know Ronaldo is not a. So he brought Cavani to play the two with Ronaldo, even though I think Lingard could have done that as well. But I mean, I guess whatever, yes. Jody's saying, hey, Nico, watch your mouth around the hair, eh?
We never know when Ten Hag come, boy. It come like a new company coming to take
I
over.
just wa- I
You know what I
just-
mean? Your company. You never know
I-
what changes
I
happen.
read-
You never know.
I read the hair, but I just don't like the idea of any player thinking the undroppable.
I don't think they have to just think that.
I don't think I think that is why he step up because
Yeah, he
remember
stepped up
Henry-
the
had
game
to.
because he was getting competition and it was getting real fierce.
So he is sure that why he step up this season and he sneaky claim that
Lion,
he will be number one
Lion,
this season.
Lion, you get the neighbor Wi-Fi.
Boy, I feel like somebody I think that's someone cutting my cable. I can't play that.
Lion, you ain't sure that or?
Ryan looking like FIFA 98, huh? Jody say you liar like yeah, pay the neighbor their monthly fee for the Wi-Fi. They change the password. Anderson saying here nobody know what Ten Hag wants. All people here in the second. Yeah, and real rumors too. Real rumors. People coming out with all kind of rumors just to get
Nobody
clicks and retweets. You know.
But we could talk about his history and he dread.
Yeah, he is. He is.
Yeah. And I tell you, and I think with Ralph in there, that quality have to change.
Yep. Ralph will be in Austria coaching that side and calling Ten Hag in our next cell phone.
Yeah, I tell you, that things have to change. Things cannot, and Ralph said that it cannot remain the same.
No, things have to change, man.
Yeah.
Change. And the
And
Glazers
that's-
are
And
real
that's why I say this off season is going to be the biggest off season in Manchester since since Fergie second to last year, because things can't stay the same.
We can't say the
Dan,
same, but Chef,
we
it might be
really-
the biggest, Might be over the next 3 windows,
Yeah, it's a
Even
process,
4, It's a process.
and I hope people understand that.
It's a process.
Earlier, the pre-match program, Ralph had some comments in it, and I want to put it up here, right? Because I mean, it was something kind of encouraging, right? But before I do that, I just want to get this comment here from JP, right? He's saying here, earlier heard Tim Sherwood talk about Bruno after the game. One of the few times he makes sense. I didn't know what he said, right?
Yeah.
I didn't know, so I don't know if you can enlighten us on that, right? But this is what Ralph had to say, right? He say, I want to be clear. This is not the fall of Manchester United. This is a stumble along the way. We have to now think quickly and clearly to regain our balance so we could carry on moving forward.
Yeah.
Right? So we see in here where, Ralph kind of, I mean, in my opinion, guys, sometimes somebody who inside will know and they'll say certain things without saying everything to kind of give an indication of certain things that kind of in the pipeline or certain things that going to happen.
Yeah.
And we've always seen with Ralph, he's kind of a clear talker, and you all praise him for exposing the deficiencies in the club. All right, and now with the appointment of Ten Hag and even the resignation of a couple older heads in the club and some reshuffling and thing, we actually
Some older heads who had big positions.
we kind of actually seen where probably football people might actually start to make the football decisions in the club.
Yeah.
So I mean, it kind of encouraging me. Let me leave it up for it to refer to. It kind of encouraging me that where we've been experiencing for the past 10 years is a stumble. Right? That's a big stumble earlier.
A massive that's not a stumble. That's a canyon.
But Ragnick still kind of reassuring us that, hey, watch me, once we could think quickly
Think
and
and
clearly,
change.
we
see-
could catch back.
Yeah, you see, Ragnick is a football man true and true,
Yeah, yeah.
right? So it had nothing that nobody in the board or nobody who, like, let me say a Darren Fletcher around that could confuffle Ralph Brain.
Yeah,
Ralph
you
so
can't
clear.
feed him nonsense
No,
at all.
he can say no, this is not how this thing is happening. And he would spell out how it had happened. And to me, I believe that if it not happened that way, he would step down. Because
Yeah.
it only
I
one way this thing had to be.
honestly believe,
And he clear.
and I'll say this, and I might come back to eat my word, but I honestly think right now, though, the Glazers and them really embarrassed too.
No, them under pressure. Them under
They're
pressure.
under pressure.
Right? So that's why they had to put men like Ralph who could steady the ship.
They have to
Football-wise.
make moves now.
Because he cannot
And it's
prepare.
not about just signing players.
Yeah, simple like
No.
Edward Wood. Edward Wood, know nothing about football. Right? And we have under Edward Wood. Nobody who know nothing about football. So the next person who know anything about football under Edward Wood was the coach or the manager. Right? Football carry on so.
But we insist we don't want a director of football.
Right? Time madness. So hopefully now we have football people and football people who could advise properly on footballing matters. Things will
Yeah.
change.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess, for the fans, this should be something encouraging, to hear. But I guess time will tell, because I mean, while we now trying to, get our act together, clubs already,
Done, yeah. We have a
ahead of
couple
us in
years,
terms of that.
as Nico rightfully said, this is not a 1 year or 2 year
Yeah.
process. We far behind.
Yeah.
Yeah. So JP saying here, Bruno spoke about Ilanga having to continue to work on his game to develop into a better player. Right. So this is what Bruno would have said in his post-match, right? And then Sherwood said Bruno himself can't feel that he's a complete player and needs to know that he too needs to develop. Yeah. And I think,
Yeah, well, that goes without saying.
and I think the fact that Mata came in and he was shoved aside to accommodate Mata playing in the center, because we saw before Mata would get pelted out to the wing.
Yeah, to the wing, yeah.
Yep.
Right? So the fact that, Ralph come and say, well, hey, here we're going on. Mata, you play in the middle. Bruno, you play over so.
Yep.
Yeah.
And observe.
And observe.
Yeah.
And I'm glad today that Mata, he took the opportunity, because, in the past, you go take out Bruno to play a player and the player wouldn't justify, so Bruno had nothing to
Gotta
worry
go back
about,
to, yeah.
So, I mean, I know Mata leaving, but I'm glad that it happened this way so that Bruno could see, well, hey, this is what I need to do if I want to play, regular in that position, because that
Not
position is
only
a
that, if
kind
I
of
want to
IQ
be-
level position.
If I want to be the future leader of Portugal too,
Exactly.
for TR on his way out.
Yeah, and also, right, it shows the coach the type of player they need,
Correct.
right? As you had message my Reams, right? The type of players we need. So imagine we get proper DM in, like, similar to Matic, and we got proper midfielder similar to Mata. The quality of football we could play, because Bruno can't play that kind of football.
No, he can't play that.
Right?
Yeah.
So if we get players, and to me, to actually be watching like, all right, these were this team missing. These kind of players this team missing. Because
Right.
we had a decent midfield engine today.
Yeah. Somebody commented and they was saying that Bruno display as though he owe the ball money. So you want to keep it at top. So you're saying here, Ralph coming and giving this team a purchase. Yeah, like,
Yeah.
Javed on the inside, thanks for joining, man. He
Yeah,
said
man.
matter. No doubt.
Very
So
much.
fellas, I mean, we have come to the end of the show. Thanks for all of those who, commented, who shared, who liked the podcast this evening. It just feel good earlier when we could come on a show, and look back at a good result and a even, more pleasing performance, right? We've been starved of performances like these
Badly.
for till we came here and we fed up talk about the
Just
same mistakes
therapy.
over
We
and over,
we just look
Yeah.
at the stress.
and I mean, we know by no means we can take this and run with it as though, well, hey,
Yeah.
everything changed, everything good now. No, we know what the team lacking, and we're hoping that the changes, will be made
Thanks,
to
man.
see us. Yeah, Esteban. We hope that the changes will be made to see us, to see these kind of performances a little more consistently, right? To take us up the
Yeah.
table, because
Yeah.
that is what we desire. Yeah? So, fellas, unless anybody has anything again to say, let me wrap
All
it.
right, good.
Simeon saying here, Chelsea, my Chelsea brethren, go get some talk tomorrow. Yeah, them Chelsea now hold up.
Hey,
Yeah, JP, thanks man.
Hey, thanks, man.
Yes. So guys, it was nice. Chef,
Yeah, man.
Blessing, brother.
I know Lion, he couldn't help it and feel out
Only
to
cut,
jump
only
out.
cotton cable by Lion.
So guys, we gonna be here on Saturday. I think we playing Brighton on Saturday.
Yeah.
So
It'll be nice to see a performance like this against Brighton.
Correct. And the last comment going to Javid. He's saying, it's so sad. I ain't checked the result till after 9 tonight after returning home from Eid. He goals and clean sheet. I'm shocked pleasantly, for sure.
Yeah, man.
For
Yeah,
sure,
and Eid
for sure.
Mubarak to the Muslim community, man.
Definitely. So,
Yeah.
Eid Mubarak to our Muslim brothers and sisters.
Yes, from All in All United.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, guys. So, Chef, Nico,
Yeah,
have a
man.
good one, fellas.
Good night.
Blessing.